42. Yesterday was a good day. It was really fun. Like I said, you know, like Brian reached out and wanted some eyes on Haiden, and I felt honestly quite proud to get that call, and it was quite a pleasure to work with a kid at that level. So it's funny, you know, like all the things you work on, the fundamentals never change. You know it, you trust it, but every once in a while you kind of like, you know, I'm 42 and I once upon a time did it and all those things, but like it's an interesting, just to see the little things that you can do that has never changed. So a lot of fun, and so today, do it, keep it pretty light. They have a big weekend, obviously. Southwick's a tough one, and it can always be quite hot and warm there. Actually, looking on social media, it seems like they've been getting quite a lot of rain, which brings back 2011 memories, which are not good. But anyway, Tate and Kiah had good days yesterday. Tate, for the first time, did some jumps on 250F, which, you know, I think that for good reasons. Mom was nervous, maybe. I think for the first time that I've ever seen her. Like, she's never really said anything. Like, she's just kind of like, you know, this, like, it just happens, you know? But she kind of was asking a lot of questions, like, can he ride it? One, can he jump? Like, and I'm like, yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's just a dirt bike, you know? Like, it's a motorcycle, you twist throttle and make it happen. It doesn't matter what size it is. So the sand's awesome, it teaches you so much. Anytime you get lazy or, you know, lack technique, it'll bite you. And unfortunately, it did bite her yesterday a little bit on one of the jumps, which her jumping has come so far, but she's still a little rigid. We need to loosen her up a little bit, you know, and get those hips moving a little bit. She has the death grip sometimes with the knees, and the sand doesn't allow that. So I think she, kind of seeing the marks in the ground, you can kind of put it together what happened. But anyway, today should be a good day. Tate's ready to go. He's waiting on me to wrap up this, and then I'm going to get some gear on and go ride with him and have fun.
Let's go back up and get a drink, and then we'll come back down and...
Sand's pretty fun and easy, huh?
No.
No? Like, I've never seen somebody that's good in the sand be not a good rider. It takes...
skills.
Takes skill.
That's why we came here.
No hiding in the sand. There's also sand specialists that can only ride the sand, but for the most part, Most really, really good riders can ride the sand. Sometimes the sand line, what you see is sometimes what you get, in the fact that if it's rough, at least it's rough, you see it, it's firm underneath, doesn't have big holes and stuff. And so it's about finding it. Like when you come up over here, it's about being, again, inch perfect. And so you go up, you land in the rut, and you follow the rut. And it's really hard to follow the rut, especially...
You got your back?
Especially most of the lines are all from Haiden, and Haiden obviously scrubs and turns, and he has a lot of, you know, a very high skill level. And so that's like that. So now you're having to jump, and you're having to go up not only in a rut, but one that's turning, okay? And it is tough to learn, but it's just about, it'll force you, and it'll actually shine a lot of light on your weakness, Kiah, where you be really rigid in the bottom, and it's like you want to fight it. Sometimes you gotta counter, like the bike has to follow it, but where your body is, you can counter that to make it feel right, okay? And then like some of the lines, like when they get big hooks, you can start to turn before it. Don't always have to go to the hook, you know? Don't be down on yourselves, because trust me, I would have considered myself a good sand rider, and I went to Europe and I was 10 seconds a lap off of the good guys. And it took me months to work.
We went to a lot of tracks and we worked very hard, didn't we?
Also through a lot of tears and just like, what the heck am I doing? I can't do this. But you just keep working and working and working. And the only GP race I had is the gnarliest, deepest sand race, in my opinion. It was, at the time, it was really gnarly. But I worked and I worked and I worked, and it just made me a better rider everywhere. It wasn't like just my skills, my sand skills got better. Like I got better as a rider, I got stronger. And so sands, we live in Florida and we have access to a lot of sand, so we do need to ride it a lot more. But we've also had to do other things, right? You can't do it all at once.
And we're not trying to.
No. You can't learn jumping without, if we ride sand all the time, you might learn a sand skill, but then you don't learn the jumping, okay? So you gotta mix it up a little bit.
And just know, if you lean into it and say, I'm gonna do hard things, you can do it.
And Tate, riding a 4-stroke for the first time on a track in the sand, like both of those combined is really hard. Like a 4-stroke it's a different beast, and it takes a little different riding. And when you not only ride that on a track, but you put that in the sand, it's a lot different.
So if you feel a little overwhelmed, it's okay. It's like okay. Double tough.
Yeah.
Right? But lean into that and say, okay, I'm doing something super hard, instead of like being down on yourself. Be proud of yourself that you're actually willing to go get involved, because that's how you get better. We could all run from hard things, but we could never get better.
At Mountain Motorsports, we don't just sell power sports, we sell opportunities for adventure. Mountain Motorsports operates 10 dealerships across Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama, with tons of in-stock inventory of motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, watercraft, and more. It's our mission to help you find and customize the perfect machine for you and your riding style. Not only are we committed to getting you on the perfect machine, but with over 200 years of combined experience in our service departments, we also support you through every step of your adventure ahead. Together, we make the road less traveled the most thrilling adventure of your life.
I don't have.
Maybe you can do one, Haley can do one.
You can do two. You can do one, you can do one.
I could barely get from here to there, okay? Do as I say, not as I do.
The only other jump I could think about, like you could do on a 450 probably is
the triple in.
before that wall jump.
Yeah, I'm out.
Were you holding them off?
I didn't want to hold him up. I could have. I didn't want to. And I didn't want to get landed on.
Should have just stuffed them. Why didn't you hit that?
I was actually gonna follow him and hit it, but not gonna lie. The line, and then like the line that he took to do it, he cut way more turn out of it than I thought you needed to. So then I really second guessed myself, and I was like, I'm out. It didn't keep me up last night, and it did him, so very good.
Let kids be kids.
Yeah, let kids be kids. Fun couple of days. I actually got to ride, and it's funny because like personally I really enjoy riding sand. It's never ideal to take about 4 to 6 weeks off and then try to hang with the current points leader of the lights class. Maybe it just ends that you're like, damn, I probably should ride more. It didn't end bad, but it's just so much fun. Like it just, I don't know, there's something about riding sand that just is therapeutic in a way. So anyway, good couple days. Really proud of Tate and Kiah, learning the sand, you know, taking a lot of diggers in the turns, you know, having a lot of sketchy moments, all the things that sand does, and then you know, from that level to working with Haiden was fun. I miss the sport a lot. It's a way of thinking, you know, like, because if you make it to the pro level and you're on, let's say, a factory team in the case of Haiden, you're good. And to go from good to great, it's really not a skill set. I think it's more the mentality, how you think, how you do things, people around you. Just my own experience with the sport, and when you're young, there's a lot of moving parts to it, and I think that at that point anything can go any way. Having Haiden, who I call a friend, you know, and I like him. He's, like I said, you know, yesterday, just his personality, his family background. I think he's always used to having, you know, people around him and family, and I think that he's super, you know, sweet and nice to my kids, and he's a hard worker. I think he thinks outside the box. And I think it's healthy for my kids to see that version of a kid, you know, that they see on TV winning races and, you know, and all those things, but then seeing them Monday to Friday, because on the television, seeing the greatness and the fruit of what the Monday through Friday does, and so for me, I think it's really cool and important that my kids witness that part of it. It isn't just about throwing a leg over it and doing it. It is hard work. In some ways it validates, you know, some of the things that we work on, you know, like constantly telling them then things, and then they hear that the information that we pass on to Haiden isn't greatly different. I mean, it's different in the fact that Haiden is at a very different level than them, and so therefore the information you give probably is easier and hits home easier for him. But for me, it's not a lot different. So I think that for me to see lap times of yesterday in the morning to lap times in the afternoon to lap times today, the improvement was huge. And that's fun for me personally to experience, you know, like knowing the sport like you do and studying it like I do. I mean, like I said earlier, it's like I love this sport. I watch it for the most part, you know, every minute of it. and even if you don't have the eyes on it, you're always, you see a lot. You see things that most people don't. I still study it and I miss it. And so to come back out here and work with somebody like Haiden was a lot of fun. So hopefully he goes and gets track position and crushes the wick. Yeah, go get him, Haiden. Good job.
He can relax. He can